Most Feared Part 2 is here, and today we're going to be ranking every single card onto the Most Feared tier list to see which ones are worth it, which ones are not, who's good, who's bad, who's overrated, who's overpriced. We're going to be discussing that all in today's video. If you're looking to add any of today's new cards to your squad, head over to MMOEXP for the cheapest, most reliable MUC coins on the market. Use my code FERDY at checkout for 6% off. A link for their website is in the description. Well, let's get started with our 84s and our 87s real quick. The first one, we have Tariq Still, who even on a Chargers team with the amount of cornerback cheats, you're probably not using this guy, even though he's 6'1", not a bad build. Aaron Brewer, long snapper, not going to really mention him, but I guess a nice little upgrade for the Cardinals team, I guess. Taylor Decker, offensive lineman, he's actually not bad. I could see you running him on you could definitely run him on a Lions team without question if you need to. He's an option. EJ Speed does kind of live up to his name, 85 speed. I think could be a solid user for Texans or Colts squads, 88, 87 speed. The options there, but I don't love the COD. And I think with the amount, again, of 32 team chemical cards, the shapeshifters, Ryan Shazier, you're not running, this guy over Shazier or any of those guys. Joe Tyron Shoyanka, Bucks legend. He's an alright card. Again, nothing too crazy on these 84s, but until this card, right? This card is 100% going to be a budget beast, 100%. Also, you could put him in the theme team demon, but I think with his stats of where they're at, I'm more comfortable with putting him at budget. And I think obviously Raiders teams, you might see this card on Raiders teams. He's gonna have that +4 speed potentially with the Most Feared strat card, maybe even with the Most Feared theme team that people will have on the Raiders team. So with that potential, 94 to 93 speed, 92 speed potential, and with the new strat cards that they've added into the game, you can make this card do an absolute monster. I'm gonna put him in budget for now. I think for a lot more people, budget for Eric Stokes. I feel like that does make sense. Sherwood here, not a great card. Not even on my Jets team will I be running him at all. Maybe for Most Feared chems, he'll be on the squad, but outside of that, no. Calvin Austin up next, 88 speed. Again, this is another guy that falls in the budget. I think that speed at wide receiver does fall into budget, and 88 COD. However, he's a little bit small. That's the one big drawback of Calvin Austin, but I think that's a budget. That's definitely gonna be a budget option for you. Yeah, Darnell Wright. Don't love his card. Obviously not bad. But I think even on a Bears team, you're looking for another option here. I think you are, like low 80s in stats, even in 77 in pass block finesse. So I would move him down a little bit. Anthony Bradford, another example of a card that's just, I don't know what, I think this is the worst card in the promo. I don't know what they were cooking with Anthony Bradford. Not a great card. All right, for the 87s, I saw some drawback, or not drawback, but a couple comments about John Simpson. I had him in theme team mid. I think a lot of these 87 offensive linemen fall into that category where if you need them for chems, if you need them for your theme team, yes, you can run these guys. And again, they just keep dropping Raiders, sneaky Raiders all day. They keep trying to hide it, but it's Raider after Raider. But yeah, a lot of the 87 offensive linemen, they're just saying theme team mid. If a better offensive lineman comes out, you're obviously going to upgrade. It's not like they have no like crazy stats. They're just solid options, right? But Carl Granderson, I don't love this card either. 77 speed, 84 finesse move. For his price, this card will not be too great. I would actually put him into the bad category. Like, I don't really like this card. This is not a card. Maybe it gets that block shed solid. Yeah, Carl Granderson, I don't know. I just feel like that like he's just missing out on either like a high finesse move or at least 80 power moves. He's just missing out on a lot of things that I like, especially for an edge guy. Like, he's an edge rusher with that kind of speed. We have a 90 speed edge rusher in the game now, so I don't, that everyone can get in Will Anderson. So I don't know. All right, Daniel Jones is a card I actually did want to take a look at over here on the actual game because abilities are not up yet on the database. I mean, I doubt he's not going to get Gunslinger, obviously. Oh, damn. Yeah, it doesn't get Gunslinger, but doesn't get Pocket Deadeye. People are running like Master Tactician and, some other stuff. So there's a bunch of different quarterback ability setups people are using right now. I know people were kind of bummed out about Lamar not getting Gunslinger. We'll talk about that later, but there are other setups that you can use, obviously. And Daniel Jones, I think, could be solid. Giants, Colts teams, 87 throw power. You could use this guy, right? 86 speed, maybe even, 87 speed for Danny Dimes, but accuracy stats don't look bad. I mean, he's definitely a usable option, and I would put him into, I think he goes into theme team mid. I think he's a theme team mid option as he's a pretty mid QB option in the game, and he's gonna then like actually getting the speed makes a difference for Danny, right? Getting that speed is gonna make him pretty quick out there, so I would put him up there. All right, Tyler Biaz. I never know how to say this guy's name. It's just too many. I don't know. It just looks weird. But good card, actually. A little bit low in some spots, but 90 run block finesse. Good run block. Pass block only at 84, which, of course, can be boosted. So there's Tyler. Solid, decent card. Again, if you have one of his teams, you might use him. Same goes for Christian Roseboom here. Panthers, Chiefs, and Rams teams. Potentially 85, 86, 87, 89 speed for him. Potentially, right? Maybe depends on what kind of team you got. But the 88 speed is probably where a lot of people are going to have this guy if they're going to use him, which is not bad, right? The movement's okay. Even high zone coverage. I don't hate this card. I still don't think, like, you could say he's fringe theme team mid, but leaning towards more bad, right? That's where I kind of view this card. Greg Newsome up next. I think this card's a theme team demon card. I really do. This is he's a good card. You have 6 foot. You have good man, good enough zone, but of course you're able to boost that much easier now. But for Jacksonville teams, Browns teams, for some reason it only says he gets Browns chems, but he has Jacksonville in the yard. I'm not too sure what's going on with that, but hopefully that's not the way it is in game. I don't know. Actually, I do kind of want to check that because that would be kind of funny if that's the case. Usually mud.gg is accurate to what? No, they're actually wrong. They're actually wrong. Okay, yeah, he does get Jags and Browns. Don't worry. He's not messed up. But his height's good. His speed's good. I'd put him into low theme team demon, right? I think he's low theme team demon on the edge of mid. Ardarius Washington, 5'8" safety. You're not using this guy, most likely. No matter, you're just not. He's not a guy that's really going to see the field. You're never going to see that guy out on the online streets, pretty much. Charles Cross has some lower overall stats, but at the end of the day, I think he belongs in theme team mid, an offensive lineman with some good stats. And a lot of these 87 linemen, they're going to help fill out some most feared teams as well, which is, you might see these guys for the most feared chems, right? It's easy to make those cheats on the offensive line, especially now with the 4X, 3X strat cards. It's very possible. Cody Mauch, kind of the same thing as Charles Cross. And then finally, Dorian Williams. Bills team, I actually do like this card a lot. I think he's, 88, 89. That's like, maybe even 90 speed for some people. I doubt it, though, with a Bills team. So what? No. Actually, yeah, you could do that pretty easily. You see most feared, and then you have the Bills, and then you have the Crystal. So it's possible. So I look at this card, he's at 88 speed, and that's a pretty decent user with some good movement, some decent high zone coverage. I put him in the theme team mid still, but he's a good option. He's not terrible at all. So here are all the 87s/84s on the tier list. We have, of course, our budget guys. We have Greg Newsome up here in theme team demon, and all the other guys are already on the tier list. So there you go. All right, let's get into our champions. They're pretty much all going to fall into one of these three categories. First up, we got Bobby Wagner. Okay, Bobby, 82 COD, 82 agility. Like, two things that are not great right there. Not for elite users, at least, right? But, the tackling stats are good. Would have loved to have seen, like, all 90s, especially how they did his coverage stats. But 6 foot, decent movement. At the end of the day, if he's on a Seattle team or on one of his teams, his card's going to become very good. So, for that reason, I think Bobby Wagner deserves to be in Theme Team Demon. I feel like that's definitely where he belongs. If you're looking for a user from this promo, just use that Shazier. Use your candy, upgrade him. That's what I would say. But Bobby Wagner, yeah, on a team he'll be good. But outside of that, it's not like you're picking him up or going after this card outside of a theme team. And all right, let's talk about him here early, I guess. Lamar Jackson. Lamar is, like, stat-wise, QB speed-wise, fastest in the game. But the problem is you have a Cam Newton in the game right now that's only one speed less than him. And in my opinion, gets a more favorable setup. I think it's a better setup with Gunslinger at the end of the day. So I thought Lamar was going to come out and be far and ahead the number one option. I thought 100% that's what he was going to be. I don't think he's that, but he's still good in the right person's hands, obviously. Like, I would obviously take Cam. I would probably take Jaden Daniels. And depending on the player, like Rodgers or Lamar, I think it's pretty close. Rodgers already has that butter release, so even if you wanted to use... I like Lamar's release too, I do, but Rodgers gets Gunslinger, right? And I guess if you don't care about Gunslinger as much and you care about the more audible setups, hot route setups, then you can go Lamar, as Lamar is going to get all those abilities that you'd like. But, I think Lamar's going to be good, though. I mean, obviously. But I don't think with this card, I thought he was going to be an auto. I put him into S+, but I'll put him into must-have. I think for some players, he's a must-have option. I think he's very high up there. I put him in somewhere in this range, high must-have tier. Like, he's... It's just weird. Cause I thought how I thought this year was going to go is they were going to give everyone kind of the same abilities at the same point, but they've kind of in a way gone backwards on Lamar Jackson. Although his stats are like his stats are not even. I mean, they're good, right? If you of course now we have the +4, +5 throw power strat card, so easy 90+, easy, effortless. And then if you have a Ravens team, potentially +4 speed is insane, or even just +3 speed on a Ravens team, or even just 91 speed. for most people is fine. Like, I might try Lamar out because I love Lamar cards, but I feel like they, in a way, kind of did him dirty. It's weird to say because his card is still good, but it's weird to kind of not. Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense. I don't know if it does. All right, Quinion Mitchell's up next. 89 speed, 89 acceleration. Good man, good zone. Again, as long as you're in like this range and you have the PS2 boost with the strat card boost, the cover stats are all kind of like elite in this game now. So what we're looking now is for physicals and builds and stuff like that. So 89 speed, solid. I think Quinion Mitchell is going to end up in. Quinion Mitchell he's good, right? I mean, he's 6 foot. Got a little stuff to him. I would put Quinion Mitchell. Can he be must-have though? I don't know if he can be must-have because for the reason that we have like Laporta down here and Caden Ellis down here is because you have a better cornerback option. I would say even 2 at this point in the game. So I would put Quinion Mitchell. I think he's top of Theme Team Demon. Obviously on a Theme Team he's great. But if you're looking for like the best corners from this promo and you're looking for someone to fill your team, I don't think you go after him. I think you go for someone more like this, JC Horn, who I think is much better. 6'1", 90 man coverage already. The speed's better. The acceleration's better. JC Horn's a very good card. I think he's better than Quinion Mitchell. I would still say that Sauce is the best corner from this promo, but I think JC Horn is very good. JC Horn's very good. I mean, that 6'3" build. Sauce has been playing well for me, at least, and I've seen people. No one's really complained too much about him. But I guess it's a corner, right? I feel like corner is like one of those things where you got to kind of put them in a position where they can succeed at the end of the day. So for some people, I'd say corners is probably the over the years of doing this is probably the biggest position where I see the most skewed opinions on cards is cornerbacks because of the defenses people play and how the cards act and stuff. All right, Spencer Brown is up next. Very good card. He'll be a card you see out there. He does, of course, he should get left tackle chems as well. I can check that real quick for you guys just to be 100% sure. But Spencer Brown, left tackle, right tackle. You can play him either side, right, EA? Yes, you can. Perfect. So you're going to have that option. A good card, right? Besides the pass block finesse, outside of that, it's very good. And then you can use some strat cards, maybe help get him up to over some 90 thresholds there. But Spencer Brown, to me, yeah, easy into must-have, I think, for if you need like a cheat on the offensive line. He's a fantastic option, right? Fantastic. And I think you should be able to run a full most feared offensive line now. I mean, obviously they won't all be the same team, but you should be able to with secondaries and things like that. I'm sure there's a way you can make it work because we have so many of them. Next up, we got Garrett Wilson, G-Dub, okay? Another card where if you're looking for a wide receiver from this promo, you're not going to go after Garrett Wilson. However, if we go back to the tier list, right here, wide receivers, I mean, I guess technically Shapeshifter can be wide receiver. You have Mike Evans, you have Randy Moss. But in this tier, there's no wide receivers in this tier. Unless I'm not. That'd be the only debate to have him into must-have. If you need that wide receiver to, fill out your team. And if but at the end of the day, you're just going to go Randy Moss. So this is a card, 89 COD, again, on the most feared team, will be able to speed boost. I think he'll be good. I think for Garrett Wilson, I'm between 2 tiers with him. I'm between Theme Team Demon and must-have. I think I'm between the two. I think I'll put him into low must-have. As nothing he's 6 foot's a good height now, and the quick spin's gone. I think that does definitely add to his value. Yeah, I'd probably go here with him. I would probably go here with Garrett Wilson. I think that's a pretty fair spot for him. I had him a little bit lower, but sometimes with the Jets players, I try not to be like biased. It's obviously a thought of mine, but I feel like I flip it and I'm too harsh on them in a lot of instances. I've noticed that recently. But Paris Johnson, he's your upgradable card. You'll be able to upgrade him the same way you upgraded Max Crosby. So this is a very good card as well. 70 speed out there at left tackle. Very good card. This is going to be a pretty popular option. I'll probably add him to my team. He'll probably be on my squad. And of course, these cards are going to be able to go left tackle or right tackle. I put Paris Johnson way up here. Very good card. Honestly, should be a little, maybe a little higher with that speed. You guys know I love speed on the offensive line. All right, we have our LTDs now. We got. Let's talk John Riggins first. John Riggins is interesting, okay, because he's a fullback, right? It's 87 COD. 88 juke move. Good. You know, it's good. It's good. He's a fullback though, at the end of the day. He's a fullback. I do want to pick this card up and try him at running back. I think he'll get down to like 800, 700K. When he gets to that, I will get him as he does get Jets Chems. It looks like a fun card. And I feel like John Riggins has... This is his first Madden card. I don't remember ever John Riggins being in the game. Maybe I'm tripping on something. Comment down below. I don't remember. But Riggins, I think, will be a card. Obviously, I don't think you're going to go after him outside of a theme team. However, the one reason you might do that is if you need, you know, a fullback chems for your most feared squads. But that's the only reason. It'd be a pretty expensive thing to do, especially when you can just put Shapeshifter down at, you know, fullback, right? He's a fullback traditionally at the end of the day. So yeah, our top tier though, it did have a little bit of movement. Like I moved down Mike Evans because the quick spin got nerfed. I know it's not gonna, you know, I'm sure no one noticed, but I moved Tim Patrick down to theme team mid. He was in theme team demon because of the quick spin. So I moved some guys around because of the patches and stuff. But our last guy, of course, Cam Chancellor. This is I think it's the best card that came out in Most Feared Part 1 and 2 so far. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a Part 3, right? Is there a Part 3? If there's a Part 3, then this tier is gonna get real full. But Cam Chancellor is very good. Obviously, it's Cam Chancellor. The movement's great. Can be a user. Can play over the top. If I were to pick this card up for my squad right now, I would probably play him over the top. I think his stats over the top are just too good, especially with like Tristan McCullum coming out. If you have your accounts linked, you know, Ryan Shazier is a good user. Like 90 speed user is fine, but I would say even outside of a theme team, this card's one worth going after. But at the end of the day, I know for my Jets theme team, I have too many safeties right now, and that's also because the Jets did get a lot of safeties, but I have a couple of 32 team chem guys kind of getting thrown around in there. There's some free cards now. So, yeah, there is options. I would say a lot of positions, but I feel like a lot of people are just going to go with the cheapest option. But Seattle theme team looking good. We have two great safeties come out. Back-to-back strong safety LTDs is quite rare. But these are my top five. My top five: Cam Chancellor, Brian Dawkins, Shapeshifter, Randy Moss, Tristan McCullum. And even maybe you would even do this because those all 90 stats are insane with the most feared boost, with the theme team boost that they get. So I might even do this, honestly. But I might even move. No, Mike Evans will stay. Mike Evans will stay. He's still 6'5" at the end of the day. He's still good. So that's the most feared tier list. Drop a comment down below. Who's too high? Who's too low? Let me know. Did I get everybody? I think I did. And of course, watch these videos if you haven't yet already. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you boys in the next one.